Hey everybody, it is Grateful Futures here. Thought I would do just a quick video just to show you guys how I set up my chart for trading. Day trading, I'm usually just using the 1 minute as like my main, platform where I'm looking for my entries on. And just this is my personal opinion, how I like to set up my charts. So obviously have the candles there, make them whatever color you want. Um, but the first thing I do is I'll set up a set of exponential moving averages as well as volume weighted average price. I actually coded an indicator to give these all in one indicator. If you guys want that, feel free to contact me. I'll give you the source code for that. And then the other thing I do recommend is I like to have VWAP as something other than a line so I can differentiate them if they're close together. I use dots. You guys use whatever you want. And then another kind of cool tip and trick that not a lot of people do that I think is very helpful is instead of just regular volume bars, I like to use volume bars that distinguish the buy and sell volume. Kind of like the volume profiles I have on my chart. So this is the one I use, buy sell volume bars by Rauke on TradingView. It's an excellent indicator right here. If you click it, it'll pull this up into a new pane below. Maybe it's just because I'm red green color deficient. I don't know, but I just don't like the look of this being red and green. I use orange for sell volume and I'll use deep green for buy volume, and that's a little more poppy to me. I also like to keep this on the actual pane with price. So I just move it to the existing pane above, and I'll like to have the scale for the volume bars on a different side than the price scale. So I'll put that there. It's you guys do that however you want to, but I'll usually just pull the volume bars down here, resize them as I need to. But I really do like to see it on the chart. It's just something that I like. You guys do whatever you want, but it's more so, seeing the actual volume bars with the distinguishing buy sell volume, I think is very important. You can see, which bars were 100% buy volume. Sometimes that'll create a little bit of demand versus just one solid red or green color. So that is the other thing I do. Now, the other thing I like to use on the 1 minute chart is going to be cumulative volume delta. I think you can get some good information from cumulative volume delta. That's the stock one in TradingView. So go ahead and just do cumulative volume delta and put that on the chart there. Now, if you guys want to learn about any of these indicators, I have separate videos that kind of talk about them. Volume delta is great. It's not the end all be all indicator, but you can get some great information out of it. So I'll throw that on a chart. That's pretty much my 1 minute chart right there. Of course, I do use these fixed range volume profiles and projection tools to look at short term breakdowns in volume where you can see the spread of volume, where's the point of control, can we get support off the point of control, and such. So that's where you would go for that, but that's pretty much what I use on a 1 minute chart. Now let's go and switch over to a 2 minute chart and a 15-minute chart. Again, I use these for my custom wave trend strategy, and there's another video on that as well. But just to show you guys, because this is a little more complex of a setup, let's start on the 15-minute chart. So the most important parts of the 15-minute chart are going to be the wave trend. So I do have a custom wave trend that gives me a line from the previous crossover point. Not necessary to have that. You can use the regular wave trend indicator. I actually used to use this one with wave trend with crosses by Lazy Bear. That's a great one too. Just wave trends, wave trends. So go ahead and use that. I also overlay another indicator on top of wave trend, and I'll actually show you guys how to do that. This one is really cool. It's called QQE threshold, and it has to do with the rate of change of RSI. So QQE threshold by Jose 5770. It's kind of not many people know about it, so I definitely love it. This is a great indicator, but when you click it, it looks kind of crazy. I don't any of this crazy stuff. So I'll go ahead and turn off the plots there, this plot here, and then I also turn off these levels as well as the H-lines background. So all I want is the histogram. That's the only thing that's important to me. And then I will move it to the existing pane above to kind of overlay it on top of the wave trend here. So that'll give me a pretty cool you know, tell of the rate of change of RSI as well as the wave trend on one indicator. So that's awesome there. And then the other thing I find is super important, VWAP is okay. You don't really need VWAP on the chart, to be completely honest, for a 15-minute because you already have it on the 2-minute and the 1-minute. That's not super important. What is really important is having your session volume profile. So I think this is super important. That's here again, you would go to indicators, session volume profile, and it's just the innate one in TradingView. That'll bring up something that looks like this. And you can use this to see a lot, is the value area of trading shifting up or down? Did we retake the previous day's value area? So that's something that I use constantly in my pre-market analysis and long-term analysis. Where are the naked points of control that are looking to be tested? For example, right here, this is a point of control. We tested it today, which was one of our profit targets. And that's pretty much everything that I use for a 15-minute, except for I also throw the buy sell volume bars on there too. Not a huge necessity, but you definitely can do that if you want to. Now, the other thing I like to do on a 15-minute or even a 45-minute chart is I like to have a long-term anchored volume profile. So you see this on the left-hand side of my screen that shows up in all my charts. That is the long-term volume profile that I get by going back, pretty much for whenever we had the previous bear market end and to the current market. You could even do just like a year or something like that. You can go to your projection tools, your anchored volume profile, and you could click it like right here. That will give you the volume profile of everything up until today. And the big difference between the fixed range and this one is that this one will continue to develop as new days go along. So that is how I set up my 15-minute chart. It'll have these levels on it from the long-term anchored volume profile as well as the session volume profiles that you can use to find these points of control that you might be targeting in the future. And that is pretty much my 15-minute chart. Now let's go for the most complex chart, my 2-minute chart. The 2-minute chart, just based on the things I need for the wave trend strategy, I need obviously the EMAs and the VWAP I throw on there. VWAP is part of the strategy. I do use the buy sell volume bars, and then I also use a whole moving average. Now the whole moving average that I use is not just like the regular moving average. I'll actually go ahead and put it on the chart for you guys here. So it's the whole suite strategy, and I really like the look of this one. It kind of gives like a blended of different length whole moving averages and shows you the crossovers in green and red. Now I don't use the buy and the sell signals. Sometimes they're not that accurate. Trust me, if you're watching these videos, then you don't need you don't need those buy and sell indicators anyway. So I just go ahead and turn off the trades on the chart, and that is what I use up here. Now I also throw on a wave trend at the bottom as well, and that's part of the momentum strategy as well. So that's really everything I use in my chart setup. The most important parts of the chart, I think, are the volume related indicators, but I do have those momentum ones as well. If you want to try out using your chart how I have mine, go ahead and follow the instructions in this video and go watch some of my other videos, and hopefully it helps your perspective on volume price analysis, and hope to see you guys out there. I do have a Discord, Grateful Futures Trading University. If you guys want to join, you're welcome to join. The link is in the description below. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to see you guys out here. Again, happy trading, everybody.